Alright, for Sega Master System Library US, I have to make a disclaimer that I have pulled out what I thought was a good nuts and bolts overview of the US library, what's interesting, what I like to play, and what would be considered a little more collectible or fun. And so I want to say that the US library in general for Sega Master System is not a good representation of how awesome the library is in the world. And that, you know, there's well over I think 700, 800 different titles worldwide, and that the US only got 100, 150. I have the US library, and I've pulled out essentially what I feel is worth talking about. So anyways, with that being said, back to the games. These are what I consider for the US library to be interesting. There's more. I pulled out what I thought would be the best to talk about. This game often gets overlooked. Like I said, it's a great platform game called Psycho Fox. Again, Sega Master System games are distinctly known as having a kind of a white cover. Typically, there's a couple exceptions. I'm going to talk about them, with a kind of a maroon label. There are variants, but anyways, that's a standard overview. I showed in the last feature the Sega cards. I'm not going to cover those because typically I would say for the most part this is what you're going to find. You're going to find the little Sega cards that I showed last time, but overview, this is some of the best games that I can consider recommending. Next up, R-Type, great shooter, an arcade classic. The Master System version is well done. And again, it's a side-scrolling shooter. Good stuff. Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. There's actually several Wonder Boy games. This is my favorite. Again, kind of a platform game with some light RPG elements. Miracle Warriors, kind of a more traditional RPG game. Excellent, excellent, excellent. But when we talk about excellent, the number one, I would say, the number one game on the entire library of the US Sega Master System is Phantasy Star. An amazing RPG, hands down one of the best 8-bit role-playing games. Tons and tons to do, long, difficult, amazing, totally recommend it. If you have to get one game for the library, that's the game. Get Phantasy Star. Kind of sought after, but actually price-wise, pretty inexpensive. This is kind of a Zelda ripoff. Again, kind of plays like Legend of Zelda a little bit, and it's a great game. Gorvall's Valley of Doom. Next, kind of more arcade action, Rastan. You have Montezuma's Revenge. You have a side-scrolling shooter called Fantasy Zone. Here's a unique game, and this game actually is from my hometown. This not the game, actual game, but this copy of game for a little side story. I got this, and it's Ken Seaton, and it's a great little side-scrolling action game. Zillion. They made Zillion 2. I like Zillion, the first Zillion, better. Space Harrier 3D has the 3D effects using the Master System glasses are pretty good. Overlooked arcade game, Time Soldiers. The Master System had a good version of it. Power Strike. This is a shooter, and a good one at that. And this is a send-away. I do believe it was a send-away back in the day. They also released it, but nevertheless, it's pretty sought after, especially complete. I have the blue covered version. I do believe there's a full color version as well. Now, the next couple are kind of interesting. Like I said, These games were typically, at least the Sonic, the Spider-Man, and the Strider, PAL, and the US had like just a little UPC label. And for example, Spider-Man, so when you open up Spider-Man, you see, oh look, it's, you know, it's got a PAL. You can tell a PAL game because it has the sideways manual. But what makes this the US is the little, this sticker fell off, but this would be on the back of the game, right here. And like I said, this makes it the US one. These are really getting harder to find, and there's a couple different ones. Strider being another one, and it's got this little barcode sticker over on that tells that it's the US version. I got mine a long time ago before the prices went ridiculous. The other barcode cover is Golden Axe Warrior. Again, another pretty hard one to get. And obviously Sonic, which everybody's missing. Now, for the record, I don't have the US barcode, but you can get a PAL one and it's the same game. So I got a PAL one and I call it good. Does that mean I'm cheating? Probably. But for, you know, 9 out of 10 of you out there, you know, getting the PAL one, get a PAL Sonic and call it good. And like I said, it's the same game. It's even the same box. And, you know, if you don't want to pay hundreds of dollars for a little sticker. Next up, Activision made a series of games for the Master System, and they went against the grain and had colored boxes. Really strange. Again, these are a little bit harder to get. Galaxy Force, Bomber Raid, Rampage, and Cyborg Hunter. I would say Galaxy Force is probably one of the harder ones to get. And next up, the late release. So when the Genesis came out, they re-released the Master System 2 and made a series of games. Many of them being Genesis hits. And so these late release, some of them are really hard to get. Being noteworthy, this guy right here, US version, really hard to find complete. One of the hardest to get. But anyways, Aerial Assault, Columns, E-SWAT, Paperboy, Dick Tracy, Ghouls and Ghosts, which is an amazing conversion for 8-bit. Amazing. Good arcade fun. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Super Mario GP, Castle of Illusion. Now, for the what the heck, at last convention I went to, Classic Gaming Expo 2010, I found a guy selling a reproduction of an unreleased Sonic educational game. And it's called Sonic EduSoft. And there's some information on it online, but supposedly this is complete. Educational game. Excuse me. And it looks like a real card, but it's actual reproduction. And this is kind of the what the heck. And someone put it on a cart. And I had to throw that in there for the what the heck of the Sega Master System. Hope this helps you out collecting, and thank you very much.